What's going on? We back with the Boxing Link more. It's your boy TJ Goodfella talking about the scoring of Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua, and I guess we'll be basically just calling it the review, like I used to do it like last year or when I first started up, did a reaction. That would be immediate reaction. The fight and the review will be mostly the media reaction to the fight a little bit. Some second thoughts about the fight, but the scoring, a lot of people was complaining about how wide it up was, 118, 110, 109, 119, and 118, 110. And Steve Arhood only had it 117, 112. In my opinion, I wasn't mad at the scoring. Maybe because I expected that going to the UK, and then the ref kind of tipped me off what kind of scoring it was going to be as well. Because, the ref was just terrible, and it brought to my attention that somebody said, I don't know how true it was, Joseph Parker team picked that ref, so I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, but if they did, somebody be getting fired on my camp. But as far as the scoring, maybe it's just that I expected, when you go fight Anthony Joshua in the UK, you probably already down 3 or 4 points. That's just what it is. And then on top of that, the saying says you have to beat the champ. You can't just do enough. You really have to, go above and beyond. And also, there was no sympathy on Joseph Parker when he came through talking that shit about Anthony Joshua's chin and how he was going to chin check him, how he was going to knock him out, and this and that. He talked to Big Billy Bad Wolfgang, and he came in there and to survive. When you come to survive, and Anthony Joshua was the one pushing the fight, even though if it's not effective aggression, it was better than the aggression that Joseph Parker brought, in my opinion. So I don't have no issue with the scorecards, to be honest. Joseph Parker didn't do shit to win the fight. He had one flurry, and people say, well, the referee discouraged him from really going for it. I'm like, all right. If you want to say that, yeah, you can say that. But other than that, he never really tried to come downhill and use those angles that we talked about in the prediction video and really go for broke versus, Joshua. I remember one time he went for broke to the head. Most of the time he was going to the body. And we was on the live stream with Fanon yesterday, Fanon International Boxing Channel. Shout out to him one time for the one time. And they're talking about the body shot that Parker landed, I think, in the 11th round that really hurt Joshua. And every time that Parker did graze across Joshua's head or kind of hit him, which is very, very minimum, he was rocking Joshua. He really was. Joshua's chin ain't that good. And Parker, he just did what he usually does. He just eases on by. He does enough to survive. And that's what he did in this fight. He did enough to survive. He didn't do nothing to win the fight. Big Baby Miller said 8 rounds to 4 and all that. Hell no. Without me even really scoring it, I know. Especially like the 8th round to the 12th. I believe Joshua pretty much swept all those rounds. It was a point where I was watching the thread of brothers scoring the fight, and it was competitive. Some people had 4-3. Joshua. Some people had Joshua. Some had Parker. But after that 7th round, Parker just melted in. He had good defense, good movement. He had a good jab. The jab and being prepared for the right hand and taking the right hand away is what kept Joseph Parker alive in this fight. But you just can't be, real tentative and, real defensive and expect to win a heavyweight championship fight, versus Anthony Joshua. And I didn't feel like he really went for broke. I don't really think he ever really went to try and go for the knockout. I just, legitimately think he came up. He came up to the UK or the Principalities Stadium in Wales just for the check. Like I predicted, he came for the check. And you got people that say, oh, Wilder wouldn't have knocked him. Wilder would have knocked his ass out, period. Wilder has that range where, he's long enough and tall enough for people not to hit him. That's one thing that helps him survive is his height and his length. And like it or not, he knows how to use it. And he can go side to side, backwards, walk you, and he can press you. So, people just don't get credit where credit is due. Joseph Parker isn't even on Luis Ortiz level, in my opinion. It might be some other. He barely beat Andy Ruiz. I was telling you guys this. He wasn't good. His dad was advertising him, pumping up to be. He wasn't that good. I watched him struggle with Takam, the Ronovich guy, Andy Ruiz. I think he lost to Huey Fury. That's my opinion on that, man. I think it's a few heavyweights that can get him a good run for his money as well, man. I really do. I think Amir Mansour might be a tough fight for him. I think Brazil, I don't know. Brazil already beat his stablemate, so That'll be a solid fight for him. I think Miller will be another tough fight for him. I don't know. The way he fought that night, I don't know. It'll be a good fight, in my opinion. See how Miller look later this month. And some other heavyweights out there. I mean, Povetkin might be a tough fight for Parker as well at this point. You know, Fury, obviously, probably out the gate without having a tune-up fight might beat him. I mean, I already feel like Huey beat him. I mean, you know, that's just my opinion on that. I never rated him highly. I didn't see it on tape. I see the potential, but potential will get you fucking killed in the boxing. And in my opinion, it wasn't close. So I can't sympathize with any Joseph Parker fan or Team Joseph Parker or Joseph Parker himself. He just simply didn't do enough. Did Anthony Joshua blow him out the water? Absolutely not. But he came forward. He was aggressive. He made the fight. It was more effective than what Joseph Parker was doing. And he dominated from the 8th round to the 12th round, I believe. He dominated that fight. So the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 5 rounds in a row. I believe he dominated Joseph Parker. And I ain't saying like dominate where he was bloody in his nose and he was staggering. I'm just mean he did more than Joseph Parker did. Parker did not really try to be aggressive and come on the front foot. After Camprione, the referee, stopped his first Floyd just like he did. Just, you know, he just stopped going for it. He stopped going for it. You know, he wasn't able to counter Joshua. I mean, a guy that keeps his head in the center, you know, all the time. I mean, some body punches landed, but he just really didn't go for it. And I can't say it was a competitive fight and it was worth the rematch because it wasn't. It wasn't competitive. It wasn't worth the rematch. He didn't do enough to win the fight or come close to winning the fight. I know some Joseph Parker, you know, supporters and some Anthony Joshua haters are going to hate me for that. But no, I think, you know, for Joshua, like he said, it was easy work. And it might have been easy work for him because from the 8th to the 12th round, Parker stopped going for it. You know, he really wasn't trying to hurt Joshua. He really wasn't trying to counter Joshua. He really wasn't trying to get dirty on the inside with Joshua. Maybe that was because Capriano, the referee, or whatever it may be, but he didn't really go for it. You know, it wasn't killed to be killed. You know, he just fought not to be killed or not to be knocked out, in my opinion. And that's just simply what it was. You know, I don't think this was controversial at all. You know, that's why I like knockouts because, you know, even with knockouts, sometimes you do get some controversial shit. Oh, you hit him behind the ear or this or that. But, you know, not just, you know, people going to say, oh, Joshua this. And he won that fight, you know, comfortably, in my opinion. I'm not going to say 118 and 110 or 119 and 109. But I just felt comfortably. I didn't see Joseph Parker in that fight, especially after that 7th round. I just didn't think he did enough, in my opinion. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all know what it is. TBC and more. We out.